I'm going to point to you. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Wait, what day is it?
It's our favorite day. Hey, it's
Your
our favorite
favorite
day.
day. It's our favorite day. It is our favorite day. And hopefully it's your favorite day as well, guys. It's the Connected Corner, and I'm your girl, Tori Rose. We are excited on this amazing, amazing Tuesday. And who do I have the honor of co-hosting with?
It's your girl, Kiana B.
Hey, I love that B on your shirt. It looks amazing.
I thought
I
she
love it.
making her
Tonight,
debut today.
she is. She is being bold and being bossy. Let us know, guys, what makes you feel bold and bossy. What your favorite song is. What is that thing that gets you really just in your groove and in your grind? We have a guru tonight who is going to talk about some things. And baby, I am excited. It's our season finale.
Woo!
Give it up. Woo! Big ups to season finale. We are excited. We've had an amazing relationship series talking about, every aspect from loving yourself to loving others to having fun and tricks in the bed with our sexpert to Bishop, who said, look, if you ain't about relationship, leave the people alone till you are ready to do what you got to do.
Okay.
We have some amazing, amazing guests. Before we bring on tonight's guest, Key, you want to tell us a little bit about like maybe a favorite moment or your favorite show in these, what was it, been 8 weeks on this season?
Yeah. Yeah, this is show number 8 for our relationship series. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I will say definitely having Yummy Londi, the sexpert, like that was hilarious with the drinking every time she said it. I think it really just showed our different personalities having something different. So that was fun. And letting people be comfortable to talk about it. I know we talk about it in my house regularly. I have young adults now, but hey, since they knew what the parts was, we was talking about it.
And the it she's talking about is sex. We're gonna go ahead and say the word. She's talking about sex. The sex. The hot, wet,
Let's talk
nasty
about
sex.
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. All right, yeah, that was one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Well, we can get into all the songs that I love to have. It's a lot of them.
But those are good moments. And shout out to our sexpert. If you guys missed any of those previous shows or throughout the season, please make sure you go back and see those episodes. That was the word I was looking for. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Go over to YouTube, type in The Connected Corner. It's all phonetic. Make sure you hit subscribe and go ahead and share it. Like, don't be stingy. If it's something that's happening on this platform and it blessed you, or it made you look at your person like, ooh, or it made you look at your person like, ooh, go ahead and share it, because we want to make sure that you guys are getting news and resources you can use and your community can use. Key, do you mind giving a shout out to our favorite producer and friend and mentor?
Yes, we want to give a shout out to Diamond K over at Radio on Fire TV. Subscribe to his channel. He's streaming TV now for Radio on Fire. So you can go over, type it in, Radio on Fire on YouTube. Make sure you're following social media, and you can see episodes of the Connected Corner on that platform as well. And so shout out to him, and we thank him for his mentorship and being one of our media partners. So yeah, we excited. I don't know. I know everybody like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm good, y'all. I'm like, I'm not on nothing. Well, I'm on life. Like I'm just like
high and high and high. So I can remember we talked about the sexpert when she was on. She was like, every time I say sex, you got to drink. All I had was water, right? So I'm sitting over here just drinking the water. And it reminded me of there used to be a piano bar downtown, right? It was called Howl at the Moon. And I would go happy hours. At the time we had a really huge group of people that always would go. And I was just drinking water, like legit H2O. And this guy was like, yo, we want what she's on. What is she on? And the bartender was like, she's on water. And he was like, water? We want water. Around the waters for everybody. And they bring them water. He said, what the is this? He said, no, she's really on water. Right. And like, on water, baby. So listen, if you don't have that water joy, you're gonna have it tonight after we talk to the love guru.
It's about it's a drink now though. Like it's a drink.
If you're at Capitol Lounge on Pennsylvania Avenue, water is going. You're gonna be like this. It's a different
It's
feel.
a different kind of water.
Different kind of water. It is a drink,
It's the
but
water that turned into wine.
and that gets you whining. You be whining the whole time, like, girl, it feels so good. But if you are that type of person who has been with us from episode 1, especially in this season, we have cried, we have shared some resources, we have talked to some amazing health professionals, and we have a joy that just surpasses all understanding. We got this water joy. And if you guys want to have that water joy with us, go ahead and type water in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching us on the replay and you're going to watch this tomorrow, the next day, let us know you're catching it on a replay, because the reality is there's so much that we could be negative about. There's so much we could be angry about. There's so much we could be hateful about. But we got a joy. It's like water deep down in my soul, right? And I might be on a little bit more than water, but you would never know. Anywho, tonight we have an amazing guest. I'm not, though. I literally, this is my whole life. That's how you know you become a mom, right? Look at that. I could just pull them up from everywhere. Like, it's just waters and everywhere. But
That's
I
crazy.
digress. To not further belabor the time, let's jump into this guest.
Yes, I'm excited. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all know we got our pens and pads, right? Like we gonna get it tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. Like this is the finale for this season. We got the Love Guru. If you, like Tori said, have not watched and got some advice like how to love your boo better, who you should block, how to let the boo go, like what you should do, who you should be with, like all of these decisions. I mean, we've talked about everything. So this is it. This is the finale. We're gonna wrap it up, and just we're excited to just have an amazing guest to end our season on relationships. Like it's the best. You know how we gotta do. So you guys, hey, share with your friends, let them know, get on, okay? We have none other than Byron Jamal. So let me run it down. This man has been seeing Essence, Fox Soul, Mughal Khan, V103. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And you might gotta say, like, what is a love guru? You know, how is this person gonna help me? He is a love and success coach, a best-selling author. Go on the website. I've been up and down the books and stuff like y'all. I'm telling you, you're gonna be blessed tonight. Okay, we're gonna love it up. All right. So specializes in helping ordinary people find extraordinary love. Everybody want to be loved. Everybody want to be loved. I want some extraordinary love. Okay. So we're going to talk about it tonight. And I don't even want to belabor it. I want to bring him on. He's going to tell you about himself. We're going to talk about what a guru is and all that great stuff. So let's give a warm Connected Corner welcome. Put the virtual hands, the real hands, clap the hands all around for Mr. Byron Jamal. Hey.
We wish we had a band. We don't have a band, so this is bad.
There he is.
Hey, there he is. Come on, huh?
Hey,
I love the show. The shirt. How?
Yes. Oh, it's on the website. It's on the website.
It's on the site. It's on the site.
Experiences.
Yes.
That part.
Do they come in a V-neck? Do they come
They
in
come
a
in
V-neck?
We got V-necks too. I got V-necks. I got hats. Yeah, we doing it all up for the hoes out there.
We will talk about how to get the shirt tonight, because this hoe needs to have one on her glove.
Yes,
okay?
yes. Get you some.
Welcome to the Connected Corner. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm so glad to be on with both of you. I've been looking forward to this. And so, yeah, this is going to be a great talk. I'm looking forward to chatting it up with you both.
We are excited. I know we are like little schoolgirls, liking all your stuff, laughing, sharing it. And people don't realize we get excited when we get connected to people who are really moving the needle forward. And we think you are really moving the needle forward. Your videos are on point.
Thank you.
I have sent some subliminal and bliminals to you understand me?
Tell the truth, shame the devil. I know that's right.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. So you want to jump right in. What is a love guru? What does that even mean?
I know that's it's a weird thing to have a name. I didn't name myself, just so everybody knows that I'm not that vain. I had a client, because I'm a former pastor. They wanted to keep calling me pastor, and I said, look, we're gonna have to find something else. And so they came up with a few different things. I didn't like them. And they said, well, I'm just call you, since you focus on love and you're a guru, you're helping me out. So love guru. And it stuck.
Funny. That same thing kind of happened to me. Like people say, like you say, you're not that vain. Tori remember getting somebody said to her, I mean, what she think like other entrepreneurs not educated? Because we did a series. We did our first networking event, and
Yeah.
one of the speakers, our mistress of ceremony, you know, everybody talk about I just stay in school and I'm always a student and I love education. I was a teacher, and she was like,
Hmm.
she's an entrepreneur. I'm gonna call you the educated entrepreneur, and I was like, oh, I like that. I'm about to brand that. Like, sorry, hey,
Go
like
for it. I'm here
maybe
for
right.
it.
So I'm not that vain. I know other entrepreneurs are educated, y'all. I'm not saying I'm the only one that's educated,
Come on.
but like you're not the only one who knows love. But I love that that's what it is. And again, like Tori said, just watching and looking at what you're doing, it stuck. It's like speaking it, and now that's who and what you embody.
It
So
works. It just works. It fits because I am a little different than some of the others because I do merge in my spirituality into the mix. We are spiritual beings as much as we are sexual beings, intellectual, emotional, mental, all of the above. And so sometimes the dating advice can be so um, manipulative, based on emotions alone. And I think we leave out some critical parts when we don't acknowledge the spiritual component of us as well.
I love it. And I mean, that's what God says, right? So speaking of that, like having those components, and we're going to talk about, we went through and we say, what is tonight? What are we going to talk about? And yes, we want to get into the love, but to have good loving relationships, we have to have good habits. So we was like, okay, we're going to look and see what he's doing, and bad to better relationship habits, right? We want to end the heartbreak, and we
Yeah.
do that by having better habits. So what are 3 signs that you have bad relationship habits? Like, how do we know that we
That's a
have
good
bad
question.
relationship
Yeah,
habits?
that's a great question. A lot of people aren't ready for relationships, and I get a lot of requests to be a matchmaker for people. And I tell them I don't do any match. It's like the preacher that won't marry you unless you go to their counselor for a little bit. I literally will not matchmake anybody unless I know that they are ready. And so here's a few of the things I look for from someone who's really ready. Consistency is number one. That they're willing to be consistent in communication. If you can't even be consistent with me in sessions, and showing up on time and being on time, then you're not going to be consistent with another human being trying to go on dates and schedule time together, because we're all living lives where we're interacting with different stimuli all day. We got appointments, we got children, we got, all kinds of obligations. And so consistency is number one. Number two is communication. If you are terrible at bottling stuff up and not being able to express what's really happening in your life and what you're feeling and what you're sensing, if you're the type to just push it down, then that's really bad in relationships, because two things will happen very easily. Either one, you'll be the type of person to become resentful toward this person that you're talking to if they're not doing the things you want. Or two, you will conform and then end up changing who you are, making yourself even more unhappy. So it's a lose-lose situation if you just bottle it up. I heard a joke by a comedian just the other day. He was saying women will, and it's not just women because men do it too, but the joke was women will say, hey, I'm open to communication. And be like, baby, what's wrong? And she'll say, nothing. It's like, nothing. Okay. So being able to express what's really going on in your heart. So that's number two. And then number three, honestly, this is one of the ones that we kind of forget. And it is being able to be malleable and adjust. Like this, saying things like, this is just how I do it. This is how it should be done. You got to do it this way. Like really affirmative, hardcore stances on stuff. Remember that the person you're talking to didn't grow up in your house, hopefully, because if they grew up in your house, you got some other issues. You probably living in the backwoods somewhere. But this person did not grow up in your house. They probably likely did not go to your high school, your church, and a lot of those things growing up. And so they have a different background. They have a different way that things were done. They wash different dishes differently. They wash clothes differently. They iron differently. Like things were just done differently. And being okay with difference. Difference is not deficient. And so just trying to make sure that that's very clear. Like difference is not deficient. Like being able to see something as just a different way of getting it done, as long as it gets done. If that's your way, I'm not going to try to make you do it my way. I'll tell you my way just in case you like my way, but I'm not going to force you to change. And I think those three things are really big when it comes to really identifying if someone's really ready. Because if they're consistent, if their communication is open and flowing, and they really are malleable, then you can work with almost anybody.
Oh, so I know Tori got a question for you, but I want to say, so I shouldn't put the picture of how to stack the dishwasher because Tori told me to do that.
Oh, Lord.
Well, wait a minute. Let me give it in context because you are the expert. Let me give it in context. We are talking about already hostile environments where a person feels like you are over teaching or overreaching.
Yeah.
And so I suggested as a coach, as a certified coach, because I done lost a client off that comment.
Oh, Lord.
To instead of verbalizing where there's areas of contention in your verbal communication, to potentially set it up the way you want it. And then there's a graphic that came with the dishwasher. There was an issue about if we stack it the wrong way, the dishwasher could break.
Yeah.
I need the right. And so putting the graphic kind of in the vicinity of this dishwasher where there's a visual communication and the person don't feel like you like, is you retarded or is you dumb? Because oftentimes when we're already having issues in our communication as women, that's what men feel. They like, oh gosh, here she preaching again. She teaching again. She think I'm a kid.
Mama teacher, yes. Mama teacher.
Yeah, she
got me fired. My sock just went down. I was like, oh, Lord.
You know, I started laughing when he said dishes. I was done, y'all. I just be telling my business just by reacting to the comments.
It is all right.
Because when he said about poker face on,
listen. Living in the same house, I went from ho to hell no. We not West Virginia around here, but
come on, not doing that, huh?
Not doing that, but we did right. I saw Kiana grab her notes as well. Difference is not deficient. That's huge. That's so huge. And we got some points that we want to talk about, but if we could just sit there for a second, because we're in this season where we are looking for uniformity and everybody got to walk a certain way and you're my tribe if we vibe and it's all in the same stride, right? And I sound like Dr. Seuss, but that's not intentional. It's the water.
You sound like Dr. Seuss or my brothers in the Nation of Islam. Go ahead.
Baby power. And so let's unpack the difference is not deficient and how much value is in relationships when there are differences.
Well, there is. So you have when you think about the zodiac and you think about the 4 signs, the 4 types of zodiac signs. You have your earth, you have your water, you have your air, and you have your fire. Now, all of those are contrary to another. So air and earth are going to mirror each other. They're different. But we need both, right? Water and fire are opposites. They're different, yet we need both. I think what we have been taught is that if I'm fire, I must be around fire people. But the truth is that if you really study like zodiac signs, a lot of times they'll say, if you are a Cancer, please don't get with a Scorpio or Pisces, water signs, please. Like, are y'all already emotional? Don't add, more emotion on emotion. They literally say there are other signs that fit because the diversity of it. Especially if you're really good at something. Let me say it this way: if you're really good, let's go business wise. If you're really good at social media, right? You then don't need everybody around you to be really good at social media. Like, I'm just saying, like, you need some people who are really good at the stuff you're not good at, because that's going to help you expand in the areas that you're a little weaker. Bill Gates says it all the time, that he's just good because he has the smartest people in the room who don't do what he does. And I think in relationships, we leave that at home. Like, we don't apply that same rule. We're fine with that in business. Like, it makes perfect sense in business. But when it comes to the household, we're like, So my thing, back to the dishes, right? Okay, here's what I would have done. I was going to tell you what I would. In that situation, I would have said to my client, why do the dishes matter so much? Like, let's go back. Let's ask the why question. Why do the dishes matter? Because there's probably other things they do that are different that don't bother you. So why do the dishes matter? Is it solely because this dishwasher might break? If it is an economical issue, then let's talk about the economics when you address your partner, right? If it's solely economical, it's not about their intelligence. It's, hey, not only is it going to be better space if you do it this way, also it will prevent damage. 9 times out of 10, no, let's be honest. It ain't got nothing to do with the thing breaking down. All right, let
I
me just
got
read you.
OCD. I got OCD. I got OCD. Okay.
Right. Call a thing a thing. Babe, look, I like things to be like this. And when they don't look like this, I get stressed out because my OCD flares up. Yes, I should probably work more on my OCD than trying to make you conform to my OCD issues. But I'm letting you know that we need to change this up, right? Let's address it for what it is. And this goes back to the open communication. It's saying what the thing really is, as opposed to addressing the thing. And this is where men start feeling like they're being nagged on. Because they're asking the same thing I just asked. Well, why is a dishwasher so damn important? Right? It's just a damn dishwasher, right? And you might have things in your life that you say the same thing about, right? Because they don't mean that much to you. But when you are the one, and I say this to all my couples, when you are the one who has a very strong pull about something, when you feel something deeply, like the dishes got to be put up this way, or the dishwasher got to be loaded this way, or clothes need to be folded this way, and your partner doesn't care at all, do it. Just do it. Be the one to do it. If it matters to you that much, just do it. I promise you, if you just keep doing it and don't say nothing else about it, A, they will watch you and they will learn how to do it better. Or B, they won't watch you, won't do it, but you won't be aggravated. Problem solved. Either way. Like, either way.
Wait. So stuck on me. I was stuck on me because I feel like we had some scripted questions, but we're going to get to this thing tonight. So, and this is not a target to any specific person.
Yeah.
The question then goes, do it. How do you not develop resentment? How you not in there slamming the dishes every time you then have to do it? Because it is truly your desire. The root of the desire is, I want your help in this. Yeah. And I would like it done a certain way, right? So, okay, maybe the releasing, I want it done a certain way, but I want your help. I need help with this. Because if the person, any person, not a Kiana specifically, but any person who then takes that role on and consistently day in, day out, that person, the other person's eating, the other person's making a mess or whatever. Yeah. I feel like every day I have to come behind them and clean behind them. How do I not then have resentment in my relationship?
Absolutely. That's a good question. You have children, right?
Yeah, I'm a baby mama.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you resent when your child throws up on themselves, like as a baby?
As a baby, no.
No. Okay. Why?
Because he couldn't help himself.
Can't help themselves. Got you. But they can. Now, they can't, but they can. Now, let me catch this just a little bit, okay? They can't, but they can, in the sense that it is physically possible that they don't have to spit that up. It's physically possible. They don't have to. But they do it because they have no awareness that this is an issue. Right? Like, babies don't know that farting in public is a bad thing until somebody says, don't do that, right? They don't know that. They don't know that. So they're just farting up whatever they feel like farting. They feel like coming out, it's coming out, right? There's a part of that until you are spatially, like, truly aware, and keep this in mind about human nature, like, just because you tell someone something doesn't mean they become aware of it. It just means that they heard it. It could have gone out in one ear, out the other. To be aware means that now this thing is important. Like, I can pass something 20 times and never see it until I need it. So, like, I did not know there was a tire repair shop around the corner from my house. I pass it all the time. That one time I need my tire repair, I'm Googling, I'm like, oh, it's right there. I didn't even know it was there because I didn't need it, right? It was there. I could easily see it, but I did not see it because it was not important. When things are not important to someone, and I want you, because this is walking that fine line. I know where I'm about to go. When something is not important to someone, they don't have the same awareness as someone who it is important to. Now, that does not negate that you're not important to them. It just says that is not important to them. Now, it's important to you, right? And you want their help with it. So conveying it in a way that says, hey, this really has nothing to do with the dishwasher. Okay? Can I just look, babe, this has nothing to do with this dishwasher. There's a way we can do that better. But what I'm asking for you is to help me. Now, obviously, you're not really catching on to this whole dishwasher thing. So let's find something else that we can do that might be better. So when we cook, I'm gonna have you start pre-cleaning a little bit, or you can put the dishes up out of the dishwasher. Like that could be a thing. You can do the unload, and I'll do the load, because you can't mess that up, right? We already got a system. You know the system. So go unload, and I'll load. That's fine. But I don't want to have to create for you an importance that necessarily is only important to me, and I can do it. And I think that's the thing in relationships. We put a lot of pressure on one person in our life to be a lot of things for us. And those are things that we can do. Now, does he never have to do it? No, he can do it sometime. But my thing is, there are things that he does that I'm sure you don't like. You don't have to say anything about. He just takes care of it, right? Yeah, at least a couple things, maybe. Sort of.
The trash.
Oh, okay, there you go. So you don't have to worry about that. Is he fussing at you about not taking out trash?
No.
Okay, so see, so what I mean, like, that trash is probably that's the thing he feels like he needs to do and will do, and he doesn't ask you anything about it. Just keep that in mind. Like, in relationships, there are things that we can do that help the relationship just flow smoother. And if we don't have to create issues, let's not.
Boom.
Yeah, and look, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So y'all say that's why he the goober. Like,
that's why he the goober.
He got us quiet. We don't hear nothing to say.
I'm going to interject for 1 second. If you guys are not following us on social media, please make sure you are following the Connected Corner. If you're not subscribed, go over to YouTube, click that subscribe button, and hit that bell so you can get notified when we go live. We are going to make sure that you have all of the guru's contact information, because we're going to make sure that you subscribe and follow him as well. All right, cool. You passed that first dish test.
Got it.
Next up. Bing, bing, bing. How important is it to have a love relationship with yourself first before you love others?
Let me tell you something. That question is the guiding force of my work. Like, number one, I tell, again, I don't even matchmake people unless I'm assured that they are in a good space. I'm not trying to connect to trash people. And I mean that. Like, and I don't mean like people being trash. I mean like having this trash all over that. Like, I'm not inviting you to my house and it's dirty, right? Like, I'm going to clean up first. Let me at least clean up a little bit. Put some stuff. At least let me put some stuff in the closet. You know, you can't see it, right? You shouldn't be stepping over stuff coming to my house. But a lot of people do that in their lives. They just invite everybody in, and they got trash over here, trash over there. They have insecurity issues over here. They have still trauma from their past over here. They have a little fear about relationships over here. And so they introduce someone into that craziness, because it is chaos, it is craziness. And they expect people to be able to navigate well in their chaos, right? Join me in my hurricane and let's see how you survive. Like, why? Why do we need a hurricane, right? We don't need the hurricane. Deal with your hurricane, get your relief package, and come back to me and let's talk, right? Like, let's do your work and we'll see where we are at the end of it. That's why the book I just wrote about How to Heal a Hoe is so important, because a lot of people literally are in a hoe state. They're really traumatized. They have a lot of sexual stigma, shame, and trauma in their past and in their present. And they ask someone to then be in a relationship with them, help them heal, right? I need you to help me heal. Why? Like, I'm here to walk with you on the journey. Of course, there's all things that we will, as in a relationship, we will naturally heal. But coming for surgery, that's an invasive surgery, versus coming for a little Band-Aid is two different things. It's two different things. If I can go to Walgreens and do it, that's cool. But if I have to put on a surgical mask and all this stuff to help you and get your life, then we got problems. So that would be, when I say self-love is number one, it is number one. You can pretty much work through anything when you deal with somebody who has a healthy level of self-love. You can pretty much work through just about anything when you have two people who are whole coming together.
That's so good. So I'm hearing y'all. I want to make sure the audience caught that, right? Because we We bring you news and resources you can use, and we all can use it when it comes to relationship and that self-love. Because some people feel like self-love, I love me, look at me. It doesn't mean you post 100 selfies and you look at yourself all day. What I'm hearing is the self-love is actually developing yourself, dealing with your baggage, your trauma, and your issues. And self-love, you show that you really love yourself by healing.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that's so good. Like, you got to heal. If you're not even willing to heal, you only want to heal yourself. How do you love yourself?
How do you really love yourself?
Yeah.
And like I look for different things in self-love too. So self-love is body love. It's how you appreciate and love your body. An insecure person who's very insecure about their body is can be toxic in a relationship. Babe, how I look. Well, I think you look good because I'm with you. I hope you know that. Like you're looking for someone just to basically be your IG commenter, your liker, your follower, right? Like this is not the point of your partner. They're supposed to be a supporter and to hold you down. They shouldn't always have to hold you up. Like your ego shouldn't have to be held up by them. It's supposed to hold you down, not hold you up. And so you should have your own level of self-love, your own level of self-esteem, your own confidence that you bring to the table. And so you're like, babe, I know I look good in this thing. What you think? Like it's just you just give me an amen. I don't need the affirmation. Okay. I'm good all by myself. So being able to really be okay with who your body loves. So that's one, right? So how, like, not talking bad about how you look. You got a little extra skin, you got a little extra handle, making light of it, enjoying the body that you got. This beautiful body is taking care of you. You're able to get from point A to point B. Like, stop beating up on yourself about what you look like and start celebrating that you got a body. You got a vehicle, literally a vehicle in your possession at all times. So, like, it's amazing. It's amazing entity and tool. Body love, but also just like straight up who you have around you. Like, the people you keep around you. If you got people that always got drama, that's not self-love to me. So if I'm checking people's friends, like I'm like, so who are the type of people you like to hang out? Right? Because if your people crazy, if they like straight up like drama all the time, where you got to go bail them out, where you got to go like rescue them from toxic situations, where they always need to borrow money, where it's like always something, always a job, that boss is an asshole, like it's always something. I'm questioning now. There's a question mark over the self-love level here, because why would anybody who really loves themselves want that level of drama around them? This ain't no Housewives of Atlanta situation. We trying to live in peace, right? We trying to have a good, happy, healthy, prosperous relationship, and that's not gonna get it. So
that is so good. I'm gonna just drop my pen. I don't got a mic for real. Like, that is so good. So blocking people and getting the toxic people out of your life is self-love.
that's
Lori's
self-love.
laughing. I just started the blocking journey. And that's why I probably feel like I'm having like I'm
So let me help. Let's fine tune that a bit, right? Okay, I don't say blocking. I don't use blocking, and because it's a harsh way of saying that you can't come back in, and that's not what we're doing here. What it is I'm so aligned with the peace that I want, and you're so aligned with the toxicity and drama, that naturally we're going in two different ways. So you will fall off. Like a tree, when winter's approaching, doesn't have to make this big decision to start dropping off leaves. Leaves are going to fall away because the nutrients of the tree are not sustainable for the leaf to even remain. So it will just fall off. You don't see the tree just going like, push it out on the inside. It's not doing that. It's literally the leaf falls away. You don't have to push anybody out your life. You just keep staying in the positive, pure place that you want to be in, and people will. Good energy pushes away or attracts good energy, pushes away negativity. And so you don't have to do any of the work of cutting people off. They will cut themselves, because your positive energy, when you don't feed into their negativity, makes them feel insecure. And nobody wants to be around people when they're feeling insecure.
That makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Like, I won't divulge. I've already, I do that with my face and let everybody know. But honestly, like this journey, I just came back from a self-love journey, like healing.
Mm.
So went to Mexico. We were in the jungle. Like
Oh,
I
I
did the
love
whole
that.
ceremony. My first time with a shaman. Like it was the whole
Mm.
9 yards. And I mean, like completely out of my comfort zone. Like I've never done anything like that before. Sleeping on just tarp on the ground. Like I haven't
Mm.
been camping since I was a kid. Um, and I'm grown. Like I got adult
Yes.
kids, and I'm like, I cannot believe I am laying. I got a little Arthur in this hip, in this ground. I think after a while, after the sores from sleeping on the ground, then it felt like it's actually feeling better. So, it took 2 days though for it to stop hurting before it started feeling better. So after going through something like that, you really do, at least for myself, I'm just like, ooh, I've been on a positivity journey since like
Mm.
2015. And
Yeah.
so I reached that place, like, what else do I do? I'm still feeling stuck. Like, how do I move to the next level? And that was it. Like it just poof, like exploded it for me. And
Mm.
it was like 3 days, and the response to just a few people was like already too much. And so, like you said, those people will definitely do those things to just kind of remove themselves. It was like, all right, we could deal with you a little bit, but now it's like way too
It's
much.
obvious. Like think about this. It's obvious. When you get a when you get a red carpet positive vibe, right? It's clear when someone doesn't fit on the carpet,
Mhm.
right? It's very clear.
Yeah.
Like we know when we at the gala and when we just at the club, in the back in the hood, right? We know the dip. Your energy is like the clothes you wear. And so literally people will know, oh, I don't need to be around this one. This one's a little high end for me, right?
The energy is high end. I
It's
like
a little
that.
high end
Oh, a
energy.
high
You
end
got that
energy.
high end energy. Mhm.
Yes, I love that. So just I mean, this is so good. Piggybacking off of, the question that Tori asked, still kind of align with that. We're talking about that self-love. So is it possible while you're learning to love yourself to love someone else? I know people say, hey, you got to love yourself before you love someone else. But for those like now we're in it, I realize I need to work on these things. So how do I learn to love myself while I'm trying to love someone else?
Yeah, that's so there is the line, right? Byron, when is it okay to start going back out and opening myself up to other people, right? Um, you have to set some personal benchmarks. You really do. You have to say, okay, I know this is how I behave. This is how I respond to stuff. I normally pop off when this happens, or I beat up on myself when I do this. When I see less of that, when I see my consistency in this area, then I will know that I'm in a better place. There has to be a measuring goal that you have, and it's unique to everybody. So it's really like identifying the key things that really you struggle with the most. When you identify those things, you're able to say, okay, this is where I am. I always tell my clients to grade 0 to 10. 0 being coma, you're straight up in a coma, just living in a haze of life and just going through the motions, right? You're not even aware of what's going on in your life. 10 being completely aware, self-sufficient, healed, happy, healthy. When things arise, you're still able to deal with them in the right space and energy. Always just addressing things as they arise and not letting them fester. When you say I'm at a 2, no, you're not ready for a relationship, right? Like that's not a good place at a self-love level to be at, period. When you get around the 5, 6 mark, you're getting dangerously close to being able to get back on the app, like dangerously close, right? Like you're almost there. At a 7, 8, you're there. And I say 7, 8 is a perfect place to be at on your self-love level. Now, again, you have to self-identify what those look like. So I tell my clients, what's the worst case scenario and what's the best case scenario? Who would you be as your optimal self, right? Who would you be? You wake up in the morning, say, good morning, body. I love you. This is a great day. I'm loving life. I love the people around me, the space I'm in. My house is clean. My bills are paid. Like whatever that is, right? Whatever you identify. I didn't cuss nobody out at work today. I got through the day without having to, knock my stay 5 times and go in my quiet place and play my trap music. Like I'm a buster, nigga. I had to do none of that up, right? None of that. All of that. when you don't have to do
We
that.
going down Tory Street. We go down Tory Street now.
That part. But I literally like when you are self-identified, then you're able to move forward. I don't suggest moving forward before 6, like literally wherever that scale is for you. I don't suggest it. Can you? Yes. But two broken people getting together, because typically a person that would accept a 6 in their life, A, is either also broken, or B, is a manipulative narcissist. That's, who needs somebody who's weak and needs somebody to depend on them for the ego stroke that a self-love level of 6 requires. So either way, not a good person to like really need to also manage, because you're managing them while they're managing you at that point. And that's not where relationships are. I think that's why so many relationships today, honestly, are failing so quickly. Because these people get together and they literally just not ready. Like they just weren't ready. They could have waited an extra 6 months, 3 months, and done some work and been right and ready for it. But then they already tried it and now they ruined it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, there's so much of what you've said, and I think the benefit for someone coming to you as the love guru is going to be these transformative conversations, right? And so I know people, and we've gone on girl trips and different things, and anybody who knows Kiana and I, they say, oh, well, they're not going to just jump up because they have to meditate and pray. They have to center before they get started for the day. And it's not about having this dogmatic routine that makes you uncomfortable. It's about, I owe me this moment of serenity and peace, and I owe the creator gratitude, and I didn't have to live to see today. And so we approach the start of every day very differently than others, right? And so sometimes if it is a situation where we're in travel, we may go in like a condo together or a bunking situation together. And it's multiple rooms or multiple houses or whatever, because not everybody is there. And I think there's a transformative conversation that needs to happen with this love guru. So anyone's tapping in, like, what could I get from him? You're going to get a very different mindset. You're going to get to see life in a very transparent way. And that's what I'm here. I just want to give you kudos.
Oh yeah, we're going to be all transparent over here. Meditation for me is important because it keeps me from, Will Smith, Chris Rock moments.
Listen,
So I had that whole conversation last night, and I'm a Libra. So I had to explain to somebody, see that right there? That's why I need to do what I do every morning.
Hello?
There you go. See that?
And I'm a Scorpio, so baby, yeah. See, Scorpios, the thing about us, we won't slap you right there. We actually going to wait. We're going to wait. It's going to be 6 months from now, going down the street, and you got your head out the car looking at something, and just all of a sudden a slap just come out of nowhere. So yeah.
And the Aquarius, we are the quiet raging storm, right? So I've been logical. I've said it.
Oh my.
I translated the meaning.
Yes, you did.
Now you're about to catch these hands, right? And so, woo, child.
Shoot your arrow.
So that doesn't show up, right? And to thine own self be true. And I'm laughing at Kiana and her blocking journey, because she reminds me of one of those people. And we just had a conversation about the difference in freedom and freedom versus dominion. And it's like, I'm free, and I love that for her.
Yes.
I love that for her. It may be a little off center, right? And I know that as she continues to go through her process, right, she'll find that center. But she has been holding it in for so long, right? So I'm giving her the permission, girl, block everybody. I blocked them. I did it. I'm like, okay. And so some of the things people watching, like, they just let them do anything. No, you don't understand the context. You don't understand the generational curses being broken, because there are certain attributes, especially for us, we're family, that is just, we have learned to just tolerate a lot. And so I'm excited that I called her the other day, didn't go through. I was like, oh, did I get blocked? And then when she texted me, I said, oh, I made the cut. Okay.
I made the cut.
Listen, because if I am detrimental to your mental health, baby, I give you full permission to do what you got to do for you.
I'm okay with that.
And there's a maturity that comes with that. And I want to move us in that direction. What part does maturity and humility play in forming relationships and having sustained relationships?
Maturity is an interesting word when it comes to human beings because we mature naturally, right? Like we mature naturally by aging. That's just we can't help that. But maturing in the sense of emotional intelligence, spiritual awareness, social conditioning, all those kind of things, that happens intentionally. Like that has to happen intentionally. There's things that you get that just happen because you're alive, and there's things that you have to work towards. And unfortunately, we don't have a culture right now that is really grooming us organically to mature. We have a culture that is telling us to stay in a very adolescent state emotionally, because it's the playground. Who likes me, who's going to sit with me. It's the cafeteria, who's going to sit with me at the table. Will I have friends, will I have all that, like it's the same, like we're grown children, emotionally. And so that's another reason why relationships struggle, because you got grown people with, I'm trying to say this in a nice way. We got grown people acting, we got adults acting like adolescents trying to do adult stuff, right? And that is problematic because you put a little baby behind the wheel of a car. It's a grown people. You give them the little big wheel. You like give them the big wheel because that's what they need to playhouse, right? Don't try to buy a real house and have a real dog and a real, a partner and a real, no, don't do that. Playhouse, go playhouse. A lot of people just need to play house. Like they need to like watch some more movies, read some more books, like just play house. And for me, playhouse is practice living in a way that you want to live before you live it. So if you say you want a partner and you gonna be there for them and come home, start coming home. Stop staying out, right? If you say you want to, take care of your family, start taking care of your own bills the right way. If you say you're going to have a great social network, start developing it now. Like people wait to get in situations before they transform who they are. And my thing is go play house first, practice a little bit, see if this is even what you want. Maybe it's not even what you want. Maybe a relationship is not even really what you want. Maybe today, this year, this decade is not a good decade for you. Like I don't tell my clients they have to be in a relationship. I tell them they need to be happy. I tell them they need to be joyous. I tell them they need to feel fulfilled in their life. But if a relationship is the thing that will bring that, then we're in trouble because you should already have it. And that's where the maturity comes in. Like that's mature. This relationship is an addition to my life. It is not the fulfillment of my life. It is the addition to my life. It is the add-on to a complete house.
Wow.
Oh, you're my sunroom. I love it.
Come on, be
You're
my
my
sunroom, baby.
vista. I love it.
Yes.
Oh,
I
very
know. We
Yes.
were just like,
the
that
life you
is so
desire.
good.
And now, and let's talk about humility. So you touched
Yes.
on Shorty beautifully. If you can just have that in with the humility piece, because there are some emotionally intelligent 6 and 7s that working together, but then they have an issue, and that's where ego or pride shows up. There's no humility there.
Well, ego and pride show up in relationships, in part because of the things I talked about at the top of this, not being adaptable, right? If we're not adaptable, then we will think that our way is the only way. Once you believe that your way is the way, then to hell with the rest of the world, right? Um, Humility then is just simply, this is the simplest way I can define humility. It's saying that I have my way and my way is my way. It is the way that I do it, the way I believe, the way I think, the way I move. But there are many other ways, right? That's it. That's it. It's literally humility. You can apply that to anything. You can apply that to on your job. I do my job. I do my job well. I do it great. But there's other ways people could do my job, right? I sing. I sing great. People love my voice. I get booked to sing, but other people can sing too. That's all. That's all it is. It's just simply acknowledging that while you are amazing, there are other amazing beings with amazing gifts and talents. That's humility. It's that simple. Really is. So you apply that to a relationship now. Okay, so I believe dating should be this way. This is how I date. This is what I believe dating should be. This is what I think a man or a woman should do. And Lord, help me take a deep breath here, because I also believe that there are other ways to date. There are other ways that people can believe that dating can happen. There are other ways. I believe a person ought to reach out to me 6 times a day, respond within the hour that I reach out to them, every time I reach out, no matter what it's going on at the time of day. But I also believe there are people that don't actually look at their phone as much as me. That may look at the phone but say, I'll get back to it in just a moment, and go off and do some work and come right back and respond to 20 messages all at once. I also know there are people that have different approaches to social media. And so humility in a relationship just says, you don't think like I think. The difference is not deficient. If it hurts me so deeply, I'm gonna ask myself why it hurts me first before I make you feel bad about it hurting me. And then when I uncover why it hurt me, then I will come to you and have a clear communication about it. Instead of making you feel like I'm a victim and you did something bad to me, I'm going to say, this is what I felt when you did this. And that is also humility, because it says, I also care about your feelings enough to not make you feel like a villain every time you do something that you didn't know that would hurt me. Yeah.
Wow, such wisdom. Like, we just like quiet again. We're letting people no, but I think it's just a good thing, and it's not for me most times, like, I'm an open book, and a lot of the stuff that I think sometimes when you let people know, like, hey, I'm human, we go through stuff, we have things, because people put in their head, like you said, people date different, they assume, they write all the backstories, and so we are always growing,
Mm.
and I'm okay with learning and saying, oh wow, okay, I need to pivot, I may need to change that. So it's always good to get information. This is why we have a show where we bring you news and resources.
It's needed.
Because you need that, you need to continue to grow and learn and get the
Mm.
resources that you need. So this is just great, you guys. We're almost down to the end, but if you just joined us, if your friends missed this and they need it, you can watch it on the replay. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Connected Corner and hit the bell so you'll know when we go live. But this is great. So let everybody know. Make sure you're sharing it, liking it, and you can comment along. You can ask questions, engage with us. And if you're watching on the replay, put your questions down. We'll make sure we get you connected to the love guru here, Mr. Byron Jamal. So you can still drop your questions down. We talking about, this is just great information. I feel like throughout we've learned, like, how do we get better? What are some things we need to do? How do we identify, those bad habits, and how can we get better habits? Like, you've, completely helped us through this process here. If we are in something where there is bad habits,
Mhm.
is that the deal breaker, or bad relationship habits a deal breaker? How do you go through that, right? So we know we don't just block the people. We know we want to give out positivity, but if you just cannot get through or pass those bad habits, they're deal breakers as well.
Well, a habit is a good question, by the way. But a habit is just something you continue to do based on a thought that you continue to think. So if you change the thought, then you change the habit, right? Like, that's fundamentally what it is. So why am I thinking about, why do I do this thing, and where is this thought coming from? Once you identify where the thought is, you can adjust the thought at the root. So if you are, let's say, go back to the dishes, right? If that habit is, we always argue about the dishes. Well, what thought am I thinking about this dish situation? Like, is my thought going into it when I walk in the kitchen? I know these dishes ain't gonna be in here right. Like, am I already setting up negative energy towards the situation before I even see the situation? Like, I don't even have to open the dishwasher. I already just had negative energy when I walked in the kitchen. Like, what this nigga done now? Like that. So of course, then, because that negative energy is now resting before you even saw it, Once you see it, it's only heightened. So it didn't even get a chance to start at 0. It already started from someplace, probably 3, 4, 5, maybe. And so now when you see it, it goes up 6, 7, 8. So now you already lit. You already on fire. You already on fire over dishes. And that's because the way you were thinking before you even approached it, bam, right? So change the thought. So you walk in and say, it's a great possibility that he probably did this again, right? Like it's a great possibility. So I'm not even gonna let my emotions get bothered by this, because if it's a great possibility, it was raining yesterday. They had said it was gonna rain on Wednesday. So it's probably raining right now, or it will be raining tomorrow. Like, and if it rains, then I'm not so bothered by the rain, because rain happens, right? Like rain happens, and if rain happens, am I gonna get frustrated? I use this story a lot about when I was planning a great picnic in the park. Right now, I can't help how I planned. I literally planned. I checked the weather. It said it was gonna be a beautiful day, like sunny, gorgeous. Day comes, open the door, because I didn't even check the weather. I had already done my due diligence. Rain, Atlanta. Thank you, Atlanta. Good old Atlanta. So the ground was wet either way. Even if it stopped, it was going to be wet. It wasn't going to be conducive to even go out and do it. Now, I had 2 options, 2 complete options. One, I can curse out that rain. I can let that rain have it. I can just, man, get out in the rain, just be like, why me, Lord? You know, why all that? And just be like, curse you, rain, and all the rain gods and all that kind of stuff. Or I could do that, you know. I could also just sit in the corner and be like, why doesn't the rain like me? Why doesn't God like me? You know, what is it about me, Lord, that you would let rain happen when I made this great plan on your earth? You know? Or I could say, oh, it's raining. I guess I need to find another plan. Like, same person, different reactions. And literally, it can be 3 people encountering that same rain, having the same goal, wanting the same thing, and each one have a different reaction. And you can have a different thought towards it. So a lot of the bad habits that are in relationships stem from bad thoughts. And those bad thoughts come because you haven't done the proper planning before the thought even has an opportunity to arise. So when you center yourself first, right? Like when you say, people don't make me angry. And I know people are like, really like, they get flustered because they can't rile me up. They can't rile me up because I don't give anybody the privilege of that. Like, that is my decision. You don't have control over how I feel. I have complete control over how I feel. Like I get the privilege. You know what? I decide I'm going to be angry now. Like that's not because of anything you do. So in relationships, if 2 people can approach it that same way, all I really want to do for you is love you. My only goal for this relationship is to share love with you. It's not to fight. It's not to fuss. It's not to have arguments. These things are rain, though. They will come. Sun does not happen always anywhere. It will eventually rain. When it rains, I am ready for it. I may not know what form it will come in. It may come in precipitation of sleet, may come in snow, may come in water form and rain, but it's going to come. So whatever form it comes in, I'm ready for it. Like I already have the umbrella. I already have, I'm ready. Like I'm ready. It's not going to surprise me that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. When it happens, I'm already mentally ready for rain. So that's what I'm saying. Like you can't go in life in relationships acting like rain's not gonna happen, or acting so surprised that rain came, that problems came, that an argument happened, that a disagreement occurred, and then go in your hole and hide or be mad or curse people out or sulk in the corner. God, why me? Why'd you put this crazy person with me? Because you crazy too. So
you said like things attract. Oh, okay. Because we out here manifesting and just the beacon.
Child,
okay.
You date your mirror. That's what you
my
do.
Mirror. Oh, I had a mentor, God bless her soul, and she older white woman, but she thought she was black. She would just say, I don't know why y'all can't see my melanin. Like it's here. It's on the inside.
Right here.
It's just, she said, it's on the inside. I think I got flipped inside, but she would say, it found you because your GPS was on for that thing.
Yes.
And I would say, what you mean, Auntie? She said, oh no, it didn't find anybody else on the road. Your GPS was on for that thing. And so God bless her soul, she used to say that to me. And I was campaigning heavy, and she would say, oh, you having friction? What you speak this morning? And it would Wait together, okay?
Every time.
So anyway, you bless me. I need to go ahead and seed into the ministry. But all right, listen, we about to call for the offering, okay?
Come
Okay.
on.
Yes. And it's funny. It's like when he talking, you can tell it's a different tone, like you say, a little different than some of the, other gurus and people out there who life coach and relationship gurus and stuff, because you have that soft, it's like the pastor, you have that tone and that voice, and you feel like not so much like you're getting coached, but you're getting taught. Like that's the feeling. And so it really has that softness that makes people like, I really just want to change. I really need to work on this. So that's the feeling. So we are glad that you're here. We're excited. So we are like at the hour. We're not going to do the keys. We have a segment. We do the key questions. For those who have watched the Connector Corner. I think I'm gonna just do one. I'm just gonna have you answer it real quick, and I'm not gonna time you. I have my little timer here ready to give you 10 minutes. So you skated through the night. We're gonna invite you back, and then we're gonna really pound you. You're gonna have your 2 minutes.
Go for
So
it.
we're gonna put them down, and then you guys, hey, if you want to answer them, we're gonna post them on our social media page, and you can go over there and answer the other questions. But I'm gonna ask you this one really quickly. So, what is your ultimate relationship deal breaker?
I don't have any specific deal breakers. I say that because I never know with who I'm with what I can handle until it is in front of me, right? Because with different people, you put up with different things, and I say put up very loosely. You deal with different challenges with different people based on the relationship that you have with them, right? And so I don't have a particular deal breaker, although I am very keen on how I feel and my energy. And I surround myself with pure positive things. And so I expect that kind of energy to be around me. And so someone who is constantly bringing the opposite of that is not going to do well around me, period.
That's good. That kind of goes and coincide with our Aunt Deborah. I keep this in mind with every relationship. Sort of, she said, everybody has, stuff that you got to deal with. She didn't say stuff, but
I know.
and you have to figure out whose stuff you can deal with.
Yes.
And so, one person might their stuff. You're like, oh, I can kind of take that because we got all this other great things, but I can't take that same stuff with you because you don't have enough things to counter that stuff.
Let me go ahead and put that what she was really saying, okay? Is that everybody has throughout the course of their life flushed a lot of down this toilet, okay? But they still got some in them. All right.
Listen, we gonna start calling you cousin. He's right, a cousin.
Right. He is, yeah. Yeah. You wrapped up right there. That's
right
it.
there. It's still
right.
It's still got something in there. You flushed a lot, but you still got something.
And you got something, and hopefully you got shaman, and it's 2-ply. Okay.
2-ply.
And don't bring them around her with it, because she gonna point it out right there in front of you. Just gonna tell you, look, they just be leaving. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and head out. Yeah, you should just go ahead and leave because
just go on. Just go on.
Yeah, just go ahead and go.
Don't bring them if they forgot to wipe, because she gonna see it. Okay. Listen, we have had an amazing time with you tonight. We have dropped your contact information in our notes and in our chat and all of that, but we want you to say it. So please tell the people, how can they get connected to you? And I want to have a conference. I love conferences. I'm sitting here like, we should do like a conference with them.
Let's go.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Okay, so how do we find you, and how can anybody who's been watching get connected to you?
Well, this has been a great talk, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. Thank you for the empowering questions that allowed me to even give the kind of answers that I was able to give today. I definitely look forward to coming back. But anybody who's looking for me in the meantime, I'm easy to find, as love should be, at byronjamal.com or at Byron Jamal on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm a little funny sometimes on TikTok. Find me. I promise you that the best I will do is always to make sure that anybody who wants amazing love can find at least a path towards it. I always say I am the guru, but I am first your GPS, your guru positioning system to help you find and attract exactly where you need to be.
Boom. And listen, follow him, get connected, support buy the books, buy the shirts. I love the V-necks. For those of us that God is
We're gonna
endowed
get it.
with,
I should have worn my V-neck neck.
well, you wouldn't have known, but for
I
those
wouldn't
of us
know.
that we got some things, we've learned how to wear, what to wear on the things. You
And
know how
make it
that
work.
goes.
Make it work.
Gotta make it work. And so, guys, listen, this has been an amazing time with you. I'm Tori Rose the Connector. Please find me on Instagram, on Facebook, some Twitter. Trying to get my TikTok up and rolling at Tori Rose the Connector. Also, if you're looking for a shift in your career, you feel like, I'm getting too old to be barely making it by. You want to have this discussion of how to go from surviving to thriving and really getting into a career choice that best fits you. Go ahead and hit me up. You can send me an email at connect2tori@gmail.com, or you can go over to any of my social medias and fill out the intake form. We are taking new clients for this season. So please just have the conversation. I think I said before, 600,000 new jobs were dropped in the United States economy just last month. You can't tell me there's not one out there for you. So that's me. Key, where can we find you?
Everywhere. No, you can find me buzzing all over the social medias. Kiana B. Jones, and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those great things. And so I'm not taking new clients right now. We are like almost to April 18th. So if you didn't get in this tax season, check me out next year. But yeah, I'm not taking. It's too late. Too late.
Yeah.
And if you are my client, please make sure you got your stuff uploaded. 2 more days, March 30th. Thank you very much.
Amen. We're doing better in this next season. Like, guys, we want everybody to live the life that God has purposed for them. And that requires you to be consistent. We heard that several times tonight. It requires you to be honest. And it also requires a level of discipline. So let's just do better, guys. Check out the Connected Corner on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you are not subscribed, please do so. This has been an amazing, amazing season. Still set your clocks for Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. We'll be having replay shows throughout the month of April. We'll still be going live at different events and different things that we're doing throughout the community to bring you news and resources you can actually use. Thank you so much. This has been real. Peace, guys. Be safe and God bless.
Good night.
Yeah.